Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this video we'll discuss about the relationship between pressure, volume and temperature in adiabatic process. So what is the adiabatic process? In adiabatic process, heat exchange is not allowed between the system and the surrounding, and also we are not providing any external heat to the such system. So in adiabatic system, if suppose let's say this container is a adiabatic system and the walls are adiabatic, let's say the heat exchange is not allowed. The heat inside the system cannot go outside, and heat from outside also cannot go inside. And also we are not providing any external heat to the system. So in this condition, suppose the system is allowed to expand, that means the volume will increase, and temperature also will change, will decrease, and the pressure also will change. So in this adiabatic process, we'll establish the relationship between pressure, volume and temperature, and we'll establish the relationship that P V to the power gamma equal to constant. What is this gamma? Gamma is a ratio between your Cp by Cv, that is specific heat capacity at constant pressure and constant volume, Cp by Cv. So this ratio is we have written here as a gamma, and the relationship between pressure and temperature will be P to the power 1 minus gamma T to the power gamma is a constant, and temperature volume T V to the power gamma is a constant. So in this video we will establish all these three relationships. So let us begin with the first law of thermodynamics. So we know that the first law of thermodynamics, the dq equal to, from first law of thermodynamics, from first law we know that dq equal to du plus dw. So the amount of heat we are supplying to the system equal to change in internal energy. Du is change in internal energy, and dw is the work done. That means some work is done by the system. It's expansion. There is some expansion. So dw is the amount of work done. Now dw we can write in terms of pdv, and for adiabatic process we are not providing any external heat to the system, so your dq will become 0 for adiabatic case. It will become equal to du plus pdv. dw we have written in terms of pdv. So this is our first law of thermodynamics for adiabatic case. So for adiabatic we are writing dq equal to 0, as it is adiabatic case. We are discussing adiabatic case, right? Now what we'll do, we know that if we will keep the volume constant, and from the definition of specific heat capacity at constant volume, then Cv we can write that it's 1 upon n dq by dt. Now if a system is having constant volume, then first law of thermodynamics will become your dq equal to du plus dw, that is pdv. So pdv will become 0 for constant volume, because we are calculating Cv here. So our system is at constant volume. For constant volume your pdv will become 0, work done will become 0, so dq will equal to du. So we can write this your dq as as du. So we can write 1 upon n is the number of mole, then dq we can write du upon dt. So this is your Cv. Now our target is to replace this du, change in internal energy, in terms of Cv. So what we'll do, du equal to n Cv dt. So we'll replace this in equation 1. So from equation 1, what you can write, your 0 equal to n Cv dt, 0 equal to n Cv dt. So this du we have replaced here in place of du, and pdv will write as it is. So your equation 1 now become a new equation. Let's say it's equation number 2. Fine. Now what we'll do, we will replace this dt. We'll replace this dt from your ideal gas equation. From ideal gas equation, we know that the gas which obeys this law, that is PV equal to nRT. These are ideal gas. R is the gas constant, N is the number of mole, T is temperature, P is pressure and volume. So from here we can write, if we differentiate both sides, pressure and volume both will change because pressure, volume and temperature in our adiabatic process, everything is changing. So here if we differentiate both sides, then we can write that PdV, we can write that PdV plus VdP equal to nRdt. So we can write PdV plus VdP equal to nRdP because we are differentiating PV. So once we will differentiate B and then we will differentiate P. So we are using the product rule of differentiation, and nR is the constant, and only we are writing dt. Fine. So from here we can write dt equal to PdV plus VdP by nR. Right. So now this dt will replace in equation number 2. Right, and we'll write it in this way. So from equation number 2 we can write that here NC and your dt, I'll replace it. So this is PdV VdP by nR. Fine. This is NCV plus PdV equal to 0. Right? Equation 2 now converted to this one. Now I'll take this n and n number of mole cancelled out. I'll take LCM R. So R I'll multiply here, R, then R I'll multiply with 0. I'll take it to right side, so it will become 0 because it's a constant. So my equation, I'm doing it directly, I think it's clear. So CV PdV plus CV VdP. This R LCM, so it will be R PdV divided by R. I'll take R to the right side, it will be multiplied with 0 and it will become 0. I think this is clear, this case. R we have taken LCM. So now PdV I'll take common, so it will become CV plus R PdV plus CV VdP equal to 0. Fine. Now CV plus R, we know one relationship. If you remember, if you know that the relationship between Cp and Cv is Cp minus Cv equal to Nr. If number of mole is 1 mole, then you can write it's R only. So Cp minus Cv equal to R, or you can write Cp equal to Cv plus R. I'll take Cp to the right side, it will become Cv plus R. So I'll replace this Cv plus R as Cp. So this equation will become Cp PdV plus Cv VdP equal to 0. Fine. Now I'll divide Cv both sides. Why I'll divide? Because my target is to PV to the power gamma equal to constant. I have to prove this. So my gamma is a ratio between Cp and Cv. Specific heat capacity at constant pressure and specific heat capacity at constant volume, the ratio is gamma. So I'll bring in this form to reach my target. So what I'll do, I'll divide Cv both sides. So Cv here, Cv here, Cv right side, 0 by Cv is a constant, so 0, 0 by Cv is 0, Cv cancelled out, Cp by Cv is gamma, and your PdV equal to your minus VdP. VdP I have taken to the right side. Fine. So what I'll do now, I'll use the variable separable method. Variable separable method, and I'll integrate. Variable separable method means I'll bring V with dV and P I'll take to near dP. So I'll separate the variable and I'll integrate. So this is a quite well-known method to find the your B and P. So what we'll do, we'll separate the variable. So gamma dV, I will bring B here, and this will be minus dP by V. Right now, I'll integrate both sides with proper limit. Here, let's say the volume is expanding from initial volume Bi to final volume Bf, and pressure changing from Pi to Pf, initial pressure to final pressure. So I'll write Vi. This is the becomes definite integral now. So this is Pi to Pf. Fine. Now 1 upon V dV integration is ln V. Ln means log base E is 2.71. So it's a natural logarithm ln. So we'll write this gamma or ln V, lower limit is Vi, upper limit Vf, minus ln P, lower limit Pi, upper limit Pf. Fine. Now I'll use the basic theory of logarithm, that is log a minus log b is log a by b. So I can write directly, or I'm doing one more step. So this is ln Vf minus ln di, right, and this is minus ln Pf minus ln Pi. Fine. Now ln a minus ln b, the formula is ln a upon b. So I can write this is gamma, that is ln Vf by Vi, equal to minus ln Pf by Pi. Now you see the coefficient become power. So here gamma will become power, a minus 1 will become power, and minus 1 means it will become the reciprocal. That means ln Pi by Pf it will become minus 1 power, means they will it will become reciprocal, and here it will be gamma power. So final expression will be, it will be Vf by Vi to the power gamma equal to, this is Pi Pf, and ln I removed from both sides. You can do that, right? So now I'll cross multiply and I'll get my final equation. So let's see. So I'll cross multiply, and you can do it now also. Just little bit of rearrangement will do, and we'll get the final result. So yeah, so now I'll cross multiply. You see, Pf Vf to the power gamma, Pi Vi to the power gamma. So if I'll cross multiply, I'll get Pf Vf to the power gamma equal to Pi Vi to the power gamma. So when initial, this is final, so we can write this P B for any pressure, any volume to the power gamma is a constant, right? So we can write like x1 y1 equal to x2 or y2, then we can write it's a constant, right? So Pv to the power gamma is a constant. So this is the proof of first relationship between pressure and volume in an adiabatic process. Now we'll go to the second one. So second one can be easily proved with the help of this result, that is Pv to the power gamma equal to constant. Let's see. So we'll begin with again the ideal gas equation. So from ideal gas equation we know that so from ideal gas equation we know that Pv equal to nRT and your V equal to nRT by P. So when I will replace this V here in equation in this result, so now we know that this is a two-step derivation basically. So we know that Pv to the power gamma is a constant. So what I'll do, I'll replace this volume here, the V value, the V I'll replace here. So I'll get P, V is nRT upon P to the power gamma is constant. Now P to the power gamma, this is P, so gamma is in the denominator, that means 1 this will be gamma to the power minus 1 basically. So it is 1, it is 1 minus 1, so it will become p to the power 1 minus gamma. Gamma is here, right, in the denominator, so if I take it, it will be minus gamma to the numerator, and t to the power gamma is there, and nr to the power gamma also, but it's a constant, so I'll divide it to the right side and I'll get a new constant in the right side, so that will be a constant here. So it will be a constant. So this one is proved. Same thing we'll do for the third one also. P to the power t v to the power gamma. So here we have written v equal to nRT upon p. In third one we'll write p equal to nRT upon v. Same we'll start, we'll begin with here your ideal gas equation and we'll proceed in the same way. So let's say, let's prove the third one. Let's prove the third one. Okay. So let's say this is third one from ideal gas, same. So here we have written v equal to nRT by p. So here we'll do p equal to nRT by v, and we'll replace this p here in the in our result, and we'll get, you can do it yourself. So what we'll do, we'll replace here. So we know that p v to the power, so we know that p v to the power gamma constant, right, and p is this one, so we can write nRT by v, v to the power gamma constant, right. So this one is v is in the denominator, so this means v to the power minus 1, if I'll take it, right, this is v to the power minus 1, so gamma minus 1 and t to the power 1, so t to the power 1 v to the power gamma, this is minus 1 gamma minus 1, and nr is a constant, we'll take divide it in the right side, I'll get a new constant, so which will also be a constant. So this is your t v to the power gamma minus 1, this is p 1 minus gamma to the power gamma equal to constant, and p v to the power gamma equal to constant. So these are the three relationships between pressure, volume and temperature in adiabatic process. Based upon this your relationship, lots of problems, numericals are there in entrance or competitive exams. Many question comes based upon this relationship, so you can practice this derivation, and also in some of the your board exams also this type of derivations in theoretical questions, like the question comes like derive p v to the power gamma equal to constant, so this type of derivation also comes in some of the theoretical examination. Now if you are not clear in any step, you can write in the comment box, so that if possible I'll make another video clarifying your doubts. And in the next video I'm planning to make the work done on adiabatic process, work done in adiabatic process. Work done in isothermal process I have already made one video and uploaded, so you can go through that, and see you in another video. Thank you. Bye bye.